My girlfriend just gave birth to our first child. I know I'm not the biological father, and I revealed that I knew as soon as she gave birth. Posted by you/throwaway37333339. I'll try to keep this short because I'm planning to go to a bar soon. I found out when she was about 6 months along. The guy, Brian, approached me at my work. "Are you Sarah's boyfriend?" I said yeah and asked what he wanted. He said he was sorry that he had slept with her and swore he didn't know she was with someone. I don't believe that. He then pulled out his phone to show the texts between them. They had been sleeping together or linking up for at least a year. Then she found out she was pregnant, and they came to an agreement to just pretend the baby was mine. In return, she wouldn't lose her perfect life, and he wouldn't be responsible for a baby. I knew it was weird. We had been having problems trying for a baby, and all of a sudden she got pregnant so easily. But he explained that he had been thinking about it and had recently become a Christian. He said he couldn't live his life knowing that I was living a lie while his child didn't know their real father. So yeah. I told him I'd keep in touch and to not say that he said anything just yet. I've had a lot of time to think, but ultimately, I decided to wait until she gave birth, to hurt her in her most vulnerable moment. I'll spare the details, but she went into labor, the baby was born, and was taken to the NICU to be monitored for a bit. What should have been a beautiful moment of me holding my baby was the most heartbreaking time of my life. Just knowing he was not mine hurt me. Once she was sewn up and comfortable, I started packing up my stuff to leave. She asked where I was going, and I just told her, "I know I'm not baby's father." You can act all shocked, but I know. Just ask Brian to come, I'm positive he'll sign the birth certificate. Then I left. She's been calling my phone over and over, even sending texts as I type this, and has even gotten her sister to call me a few times. It was hard pretending these last few months, but I think I'm satisfied. I feel really heartbroken though. I was planning to propose to her on the day our baby was born. I was gonna make her the happiest woman ever. Oh well. I'm going to go get crapface now. Top/relevant comments. Commenter. So sorry that you're going through this, friend. I hope you have a good evening at the bar. How did she react when you were leaving after telling her you knew? Ops response. She was shocked, and she started to say, wait, but I was already closing the door when she started talking more. In the texts and voicemails she's left me, she explains that Brian is lying and that if I would just pick up the phone, she'll explain. I mean, I have a copy of their text messages, and an intimate video as further proof, so I'm very tempted to send them to her, but I really don't want to give her any attention right now. Downvoted commenter. Who else was in the room with you when you made this little announcement? Did you do it in front of her mom, grandma, and other loved ones who showed up in excitement to meet their new family member? Was it before or after the infant was taken away by the nurses for aftercare? And whose insurance paid for this birth? Did you allow it to remain on your insurance so you could make this little announcement? Or did you talk to her ahead of time about splitting the cost? What was your contingency plan if she had serious complications or even died in the process? There is so much that goes on during the birthing process. Everything about this post screams that you haven't once been a part of it. Lamau, amateur. Ops response. Nurses were in the room, I didn't give a crap if they heard. This was after they took the baby to the NICU, and the only reason he even went was because my ex had a pretty bad fever before she gave birth, so they wanted to monitor him to make sure he didn't also develop a fever. She has her own insurance. Obviously, if she had complications, I wouldn't have done it right then, but she didn't. Baby is fine, she's fine, so I broke the news and left. I don't understand why people who say crap is fake stick around to read and comment. Move on with your life, then. Commenter 3. I did a sigh of relief when I saw you're not married to this woman. Take power from that. You can move on much more easily. Op adds an edit to his post. Head hurts, but I'm home and safe. I wasn't really expecting this to gain as much traction as it did, but I'll clear up a few things. Brian is going to be in the baby's life if it's his. I don't care what anyone says, I'm sure the kid isn't mine. I'll go get tested, but Brian and I have been in contact since last night, and there isn't a doubt in my mind. For those of you calling me a psychopath or whatever, I don't really care. You'll all forget about this post in a day anyway, while I'll have to live with this crap for the rest of my life. What I did wasn't amazing, but I don't care. All I ever did was treat her amazingly, and this is how she pays me back. If you think this is fake, go read something else. Doesn't matter to me. Update 3 weeks later. Hi everyone. I just wanted to start by saying I would have updated sooner, but it takes a bit to get test results back. I've also been working on myself in the meantime. Thanks for all the support. I'll cut to the chase, I am not the father. But I already knew that deep down. Brian and the baby are a match, so that pretty much answers that question. He's very excited to be a dad, even despite the circumstances. We've kept in touch this whole time, and he's actually a really great guy, goes to church now, volunteers at shelters, etc. I'm not sure if we'll continue to stay in touch after this, but I wouldn't mind getting a drink with him every once in a while. I hope the kid does great in life. He should with Brian as his dad. As for Sarah, around the time I posted, she had asked Brian to be with her officially since there was nothing to hide. As far as I know, he has not taken her up on that offer and just wants to co-parent for the sake of being in his kid's life. I think that's very smart of him, honestly. She and I have talked as well. We talked about where it all went wrong. She felt as though I wasn't there for her fully and just felt unfulfilled. Which I understand. I wasn't always the best guy, but I treated her the best I could. I guess it just wasn't meant to be. She started crying, and I did give her a hug, but I made sure she knew it wasn't because I cared about her. She's offered to stay friends and for me to visit if I want, but I declined. I'm not really interested in keeping up with her and her kid, but I did give her the stuffed animal I was planning to give our kid someday as a gift. She's been staying with her mom and has fully moved out her stuff. She asked me to keep her number, but I blocked her the same day she finished moving out. So it's just me now. I'm not gonna lie, my heart has been super heavy. But I think I'll be okay. There's a cute girl at my work, and we've been talking. She's a single mom and has been awesome so far. I explained that I wanted to go slow because of my recent breakup, and she understands. We've hooked up once or twice, nothing serious yet. I just want to be by myself for now, but I'll likely give her a shot when I'm ready. That's it for now. I'm depressed, but I'm working out now at least. I never want to talk to Sarah and will likely never see her again. It sucks because she was such a big part of my life, but that's gone now. Thanks for all the support. I'll answer questions if you guys have more. Edit to add, just wanted to mention that I still don't feel bad about what I did. I can tell she's still hurting, but I definitely think it's deserved. Top/relevant comments. Commenter. Good luck, Op. Just felt I should mention, though, that repeatedly hooking up with a single mom from work is not moving slowly or carefully. If you really want to heal from your last relationship, I'd advise foregoing sex in favor of being single and hanging out with friends. Also, if you're feeling at loose ends, confused, etc., do a nice, single mom a favor by being careful not to give any impression that you're developing feelings for her if you're honestly not interested in anything lasting. More people say they can do strictly FWB than can actually do it. Op's response. Yeah, I definitely don't want to add more drama to her life with her being a mom and everything. I am interested in her, I just want to focus on getting myself in a good spot so I don't drag stuff into my next relationship. The segs was mostly her idea, she said she was fine with casual stuff. I'd definitely be honest with her if I completely wanted to stop seeing her or didn't think it would go long term. Commenter 2. Op, in my book, both Sarah and Brian are damned. You said, in your first thread, that you did not believe Brian didn't know about you. If that is the case, I do not know why you seem to want to befriend him. If the man can get involved with a married woman and not care, then claim to find God and all is forgiven, I think you lack a spine. That was one of my personal worst fears in life, that I would one day get married, treat her well, and believe all was well, only for another guy to step into the picture. Perhaps unknowingly, the kids would be his too, and one day he would man up and basically claim my so-called life as his own. And here you are, living that exact nightmare, and you want to be his friend? You and I, we are not the same, and I am thankful for that fact. Brian is not your friend. Brian is the guy who knew she was involved and dove right in anyway, knocked her up, then decided to claim all this for his own. That is not someone you should share a beer with. Commenter 3. Op is hurting right now. I believe he's trying his best to make the situation feel okay. Because Brian is a good guy who really stepped up and will be a good dad. He's so good that I'd have a beer with him. This was meant to be for him, her, and the kid, and their life story was never supposed to involve me anyway. It is okay. Op is self-distorting the situation and stamping almost positive intent because then it'll hurt less. He is the lone victim choosing martyrdom by distancing himself. This type of coping is uncommon, and I wouldn't be surprised if Op is religious, as it happens more often with religious individuals. However, it's generally temporary. Over the long term, as you pointed out, Op should reach for more clarity about how badly he was wronged in this situation and hopefully attune and process his feelings more directly. Second update 8 months later. I keep getting DMs asking me to update, so here's one. It's been roughly 8 months. Check my profile for the original story. No, I don't talk to Sarah. Screw Sarah. Haven't seen her. Last I heard, she moved 3 hours away with her mom to be closer to some family. I kept seeing her around town a lot, so I'm beyond grateful she's gone. She attempted to have conversations with me sometimes in the first month after she gave birth, but that soon stopped. As for Brian, we text occasionally, and we did go out for that beer. He overall seems happy to be a father, but we don't talk about Sarah. I don't keep up with him much anyway. We're both hard-working men with jobs, kids, and lives to live, so it's kind of hard to keep up. I don't think they're together at all, but who knows? Speaking of kids, the woman who was a single mom that I started seeing? We're still together. Her kid is awesome, and I love being her stepdad, to be honest. So a big middle finger to those who told me to stop talking to her or that it wasn't going to work. It may seem like we moved fast, but at this point, I don't care. I've never loved anyone more. We communicate properly, hardly fight, just so much fun. I was initially going to cut all contact with her after falling into a bad drinking habit, but she really kept me grounded. I didn't meet my stepdaughter for a while, but when I did, I knew I couldn't leave. Being a part of this little family has healed me in ways I literally can't fathom. And before anyone says I just used them to deal with the trauma of not having my own kid, that couldn't be further from the truth. I'm in therapy, I got my crap together, and most days I don't even think about my ex. Hell, I even forgot about this damn account. Words cannot describe how much my life has picked up. Thank you, Reddit strangers, for being there in the darkest time of my life. Honestly, it helped. Hoping to propose to my girlfriend sometime in the future. That's it. Bye. /relevant comments. Commenter. Good for you, bro.